It's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another video. Today guys, we have more recipes for you guys. We have more air fryer recipes. I'm so excited because you guys know I love the air fryer, and today I'm working with Tautronics to bring you guys some awesome vegan friendly air fryer recipes. So today's video is very kindly sponsored by Tautronics, and they sent me this beautiful, amazing air fryer, and I'm so excited to show you guys how to use it. If you guys don't know what air fryers are, they're basically an amazing appliance that allows you to fry your foods without actually frying them. Yes, okay. And this air fryer in particular is amazing. It has 11 different presets for popular food items, so you can actually adjust according to what you're cooking. And the container is actually quite big. It's 6-quart container. It can feed 3 to 6 people. So it's a pretty big container, so you can make a lot in one, go, which is awesome. And of course, the best thing about air fryers is that it uses about 85% less fat than deep fryers, if not more, because you can make things without actually adding any oil at all. So it's super awesome and it's such a great appliance to have. So if you guys are interested in getting yourself an air fryer, the link to the one I'm using today will be listed down below. Normally this Tautronics air fryer costs $120, but today guys, you can get it for only $95, so you get around a 20% off discount. This is awesome. If you have ever thought about getting an air fryer, this might be the day for you. The link is down below guys to purchase your air fryer. You can make so many things in an air fryer. Trust me guys, it's one of my favorite appliances in the kitchen. So if you guys are interested in the recipes, we can get started right now. If you guys need the written recipes, as always, they will be in a blog post linked down below, so don't forget to check that out. Once again, if you want to grab yourself a beautiful, amazing, state-of-the-art air fryer, link is down below for the Tautronics air fryer. It is awesome, trust me guys, it is fantastic. Let's get started with recipe number 1. So the first recipe I'm going to show you guys is a vegan cheese corn dog. Yes, my friends, we are making a vegan cheese corn dog that is oil-free and vegan. Amazing. So let's get started with adding half a cup of all-purpose flour into a large mixing bowl. And then we're gonna add in half a cup of cornmeal. And then let's add in 1 tablespoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and those are the dry ingredients for the batter. Now let's just give that a nice mix. And now we can add in our wet ingredients. We're gonna add in a 1/3 cup of non-dairy milk, 3 tablespoons of applesauce, and then we can just mix this well. Just a little note, this mixture is going to be thicker than, I guess, traditional corn dog batter because of the fact that we are air frying it, so that we can just kind of easily mold this batter onto our hot dogs and the cheese. That's why she's thick. Okay, that's why. So once we have that batter ready, we can prepare our vegan hot dogs. So I'm just using these ones by Eve's. These are the best ones that I know of because they just taste like traditional hot dogs, And then I'm trying 2 different kinds of vegan cheese. I'm using the Miyoko's mozzarella, and then we also have the Daya mozzarella stick thingies. I thought the sticks would be really convenient for this since we are making, corn dogs. So, it's already kind of shaped nicely. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I also did want to try the Miyoko's mozzarella to see how it worked and compare. And I do think the Daya one works better because of the fact that I think it melts slightly better in this recipe particularly. I think the Miyoko's one could probably work better in maybe a different type of recipe that requires some vegan mozzarella. But yes, try whatever vegan mozzarella you can find, or you can just skip that and just use the good old veggie dogs. So I just chopped these a little bit so we can kind of mix and match. As you can see here, we're adding the hot dog first, or the veggie dog first, and then we're gonna add a little piece of the vegan mozzarella, and then another little piece of the hot dog, and then another little piece of the vegan mozzarella, so that we have, a mixture, if you will. And then, guys, we can just mold. This is what I mean by mold, okay? Use your hands. Now, why can't I talk? Piece of advice, my friends. Wet your hands a little bit with water before you start to mold the batter onto the corn dogs, because otherwise it will stick to your hand. If you wet your hands with water, it is much less likely to stick. So once we've molded that batter onto our corn dogs, we can basically coat the corn dog with some breadcrumbs. So I have here maybe about 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. Well, actually, I started with a cup and I realized I probably only needed 1/2 cup. But yeah, so like 1/2 cup, okay? Anyways. Okay, let's just repeat one more time in case you missed it. Now I'm actually using coffee stir sticks for this, okay? That's all I could find. So use whatever you want. This time I am using the Miyoko's mozzarella, okay? So we're doing the same thing. We're gonna mold the batter. Again, wet your hands, mold the batter nicely. Okay, roll it around with your hands, play around with it, okay? And then coat with the breadcrumbs. Now, if you want to make your life a little bit easier, you can actually make these a little bit smaller and it makes everything a little bit easier. So instead of doing the veggie dog cheese mixture, we're just going to do one veggie dog piece, one cheese piece, and then we're just going to mold into a little bit smaller of a corn dog, which still works really well and it still looks really nice, but it's just easier to mold the batter on there. So that's what I would recommend if you find it hard to do the full-on corn dog, okay? So this works totally fine, and I think it looks cuter, it looks better, and you can make more, which is great. And once we have those corn dogs ready, we are now ready to air fry. How exciting! Very exciting. So we're taking this basket here, and this is optional, but I decided to line mine with a reusable baking liner sheet. I never know what to call these things. I decided to line it so that I don't get too many crummies, but you don't have to do this part, okay? You can just place your corn dogs there, and then we are going to air fry at 370 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 minutes total, but halfway through you want to flip them over and then do, what was I saying? Okay, no, halfway through you want to flip them over. So you want to do 6 minutes, then flip, then do another 6 minutes for a total of 12 minutes. Just make sure that the corn dogs aren't touching each other when you are air frying, and then they turned out like this. Oh my God, guys, isn't that beautiful? I mean, come on, that is beautiful. Now, the Koreans like to put a bit of sugar on top, so I'm doing that. You can like roll this in sugar if you want. I'm not gonna go that crazy, okay? I just add a little sprinkling of sugar. It's not needed, but you know, a little sugar, never hurt anybody. And then I'm topping with, I'm not gonna lie, I just used sriracha because my ketchup was out and I still wanted that, you know, beautiful red, you know, stuff, okay? So I put some Dijon mustard and sriracha, but let's pretend this is ketchup, okay? I mean, sriracha is also good, but yeah. And here are the smaller ones. Aren't these so cute? I mean, let's be real, these are cute. We're sprinkling a little sugar once again, and then of course sriracha and the Dijon mustard. These are the vegan, oil-free, air-fried cheese corn dogs. What? I know. Definitely try these out. This is one of my favorite recipes that I've made. I think it's so much fun. And unfortunately, vegan cheese, at least not the ones that I've used, they don't stretch like dairy cheese. But you know what? That's okay. You know why? Because dairy is not for us, okay? Dairy is for baby cows. Anyways, definitely try these out, guys. I really hope you guys like these. Our second recipe is another exciting one. We are making air fryer tempura. Yes, air fryer veggie tempura. We're using 2 different things. We have broccoli, which I love. You guys know I love me some broccoli. We're gonna chop the broccoli into nice bite-sized pieces. And we also have some sweet potato. I have this sweet potato right here. Is it sweet potato? Is it yam? I never know. Which one is sweet potato? Which one is yam? What color does it have to be one or the other? I have no clue. Either way, I'm going to call this a sweet potato. We're going to chop this sweet potato into nice kind of flat, you know, thin slices. Like not too thin, but like maybe about, I don't know, a centimeter or so. Okay. So total, I used half a broccoli crown and one kind of medium sweet potato. And once we have the veg prepared, let's make our little batter. So in a large mixing bowl, we're gonna add in 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon baking powder, half a teaspoon salt, and we're just gonna nicely mix those dry ingredients. And then we're going to add in 1 1/4 cup of sparkling water. Make sure you're not using some sort of flavored sparkling water, okay? Make sure you're using just plain natural sparkling water. Natural? Are they natural? Is it natural? Probably not natural. Anyway, just use plain sparkling water, mix it well, and then that is our batter. Now, if you want to add some more flavors and spices, you could totally do that into the batter as well. That's going to give it more depth and more flavor. You can add in like garlic powder, paprika. I mean, feel free to go nuts, okay? This is your recipe. Well, it's my recipe, but when you make it, it's going to be your recipe, okay? So now we're also using breadcrumbs, okay? So we have a little thing of breadcrumbs here. It's very similar to what we just did. We dip in the wet batter and then we coat with the breadcrumbs, okay? So my suggestion would be to use one hand for the wet and then the second hand for the dry. Try not to get the dry hand wet because then it's no longer going to be dry, you see? So yes, does that make sense? Okay, so we're gonna do left hand wet batter and then dump it onto the breadcrumbs and then just try to coat it while keeping your hand as dry as possible. So once you have these pieces nicely battered and coated, you can place them into the air fryer. And I try not to let them touch too much because I want to make it nice and perfect for y'all, okay? And when you are ready to start air frying your first batch, we are going to stick them into the air fryer and you want to cook them at 380 degrees Fahrenheit. And you want to do 5 minutes first, then flip everything and then do another 3 to 5 minutes. For the broccoli, you can get away with doing just 3 minutes in the second round, but for the yam, I would do at least 10 minutes total. So 5 minutes, flip, and then 5 minutes. But both, I'm using 380 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the beautiful things about the air fryer is that you don't need to preheat it, which amazes me because one of the things I hate is forgetting to preheat your oven and then you have to like wait extra time and you know what I mean? Okay. Ain't nobody got time. I would just like to not preheat it, please. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to show you guys how to make a really easy tempura dipping sauce. So I'm starting with 3/4 cup of water. That was hard. I don't know why that was really hard. 3/4 cup of water, and we're going to make some kelp broth. So I'm taking about 3 pieces of dried kelp, and then I'm going to bring this to a nice boil on the stove. And then once it comes to a boil, I'm going to simmer it down. Okay, and then I'm gonna cook it for about 15 minutes or so until the broth becomes kelpy. Okay, now if you don't have kelp, you can actually just use like veggie broth or something. Yeah, that would work. 3/4 cup of veggie broth, or you can use a little bit of kelp powder, whatever. Okay, so now we have that kelp broth. We're going to add in 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. In my case, I'm using tamari, which is a gluten-free soy sauce. You can use whatever. I'm not gluten-free. I don't know why I use tamari, but anyway. So we're also going to add in 2 tablespoons of mirin, which is a Japanese cooking wine, a sweet cooking wine. I think that's how to describe it. And then we're also going to add in half a tablespoon of sugar. And then we're going to mix this well. And that's going to be our dipping sauce. Now, you can use whatever sauce you want, guys. You can coat your tempura with, I don't know, some crazy sauce, okay? You can dip your tempura in teriyaki sauce if you want. I'm not judging. You do you, okay? But this is just an idea for a dipping sauce. If you just want to dip it in like soy sauce too, I mean, that works, okay? Don't let me judge you. Don't let anybody judge you. And here you go, my friends. This is how I made an oil-free vegan tempura using an air fryer. And oh my God, I love the air fryer, guys. Honestly, you can have tempura and you can have it oil-free. How amazing is that? That's how you make it. Hope you guys like it. Enjoy. And last but not least, we're gonna make a really simple eggy toast sandwich. I don't know how to describe this, okay? But we're taking some bread. I'm using, I think this is like Belgian bread loaf. You can use like French bread. You can use regular bread, whatever bread, sourdough bread. Feel free to use whatever. I'm just slicing it into kind of, you know, bread slices. What am I saying? And then let's make our coating. So basically we're making like almost like a savory French toast type of situation. So into a blender, I'm gonna add in 150 grams of firm tofu. We're also going to add in 1 cup of non-dairy milk, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of black salt or kala namak, or you can just use regular salt. The black salt is going to give it a bit of an eggy, you know, taste, okay? If you don't like that, leave that out. And we're also going to add in 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and then let's blend it until it's nice and smooth and very liquidy like this, okay? And then of course you can dip your bread pieces into this lovely liquid batter situation. Make sure it's nice and soaked, okay? And then make sure your air fryer is lined up with like non-stick parchment paper or something, or that reusable baking liner thing that I used before, because this is like quite liquidy, so it might be fine without it, but highly recommend just kind of coating it so that it's easier to work with, okay? And now once your bread is nice and soaked and you've lined your air fryer basket with a nice liner thingy, you can stick it into the air fryer and air fry at 320 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. And then we want to flip over the bread pieces, and then we want to air fry for another 3 minutes. And once the 3 minutes is up, take it back out, and then we can add our insides, okay? The insides of the toast sandwich. You can add whatever you want, guys. I just decided to add some vegan ham, I think this was. This is from the Eve's brand once again. And we're also gonna add in 2 pieces of vegan cheddar slices. I'm using the Follow Your Heart, I believe, brand. And then we're gonna just close it up and then put it back into the air fryer for another 2 to 3 minutes until the cheese is nicely melted. Now, of course, you can add in some other sauces in there if you want. If you want to add some ketchup or mayo, vegan mayo that is, or like mustard or whatever you want, or add in other, you know, ingredients in there. This is just, you know, a very simple, quick, easy, lazy idea. But yeah, feel free to do whatever you want. And that's how you make a really quick, savory, eggy sandwich thingy in the air fryer. Yes. Alright guys, so that was my air fryer recipes video. I have more air fryer recipes on my channel. I'm going to link a playlist down below so you can check out all of the other recipes, so you can play around with so many different air fryer recipes. And once again, the written recipes for everything you saw today will be in a blog post linked down below as well. Thank you so much to Teltronics for sponsoring today's video. Once again, the link to purchase your air fryer is in the description box down below. It also makes a fantastic Christmas present, just putting that out there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed the recipes. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, of course, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!